Good morning and a very warm welcome to Frugal. Coffee cheers to you. Hold on. My name's Lara and this is a Frugal Living and Budgeting channel. It's great to have you here. And this is, although it's a Saturday morning, this is technically my Frugal get tongue-tied. My Frugal Fridays thrifty chat. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one together in time yesterday, so sorry about that, but thanks for watching today's instead. And I hope that your May has got off to a great start. I hope that all is well in your world. And I thought I would have a chat today about something that's universal. Two things that are universal, that are invaluable, that we can't put a price on. And it's things where they can be complete game changers in our lives and add value in so many ways. And that is our mindset and knowing our whys. So I'm sure that you'll have times in your life that you've experienced this firsthand. And I've been going through that experience myself recently very profoundly, where I have had times where it's been difficult to get focused. My energy levels have been rubbish. That feeling of stuckness and not feeling motivated or feeling a bit lost, not having clarity. And I suppose in some areas of life there can be a lack of clarity, but clarity in other areas. But yeah, when we understand and know our why in terms of goals related to frugality, it helps give us a sense of drive, like I say, that motivation, and helps us with our kind of inner compass, internal navigation system for knowing why we're striving for what we're striving for. It just helps get our mojo back on track. And we're still going to get days where there's frugal fatigue or phases where it's harder to keep focused, or life throws curveballs and we have to deal with those, which is why having an emergency fund can make a huge difference in those situations. And hopefully there's as few of these kind of situations as possible while we're striving for our goals. But and we could have multiple goals, but knowing these whys makes such a valuable difference. It really does. And it just helps re-energize and supercharge our goals. And mindset, like I say, can be so priceless too, because I've talked before quite a bit about having an abundance mindset, and that's always something that I try and cultivate when I can in my life. That sense of gratitude, even in times where it may not feel or seem kind of objectively as if we have a lot. There's always something that we can, in any given moment, there's always something that we can try to reach for, feeling grateful for, a sense of abundance about. Even the air we breathe, there's just so many things that there's always a way to try and anchor onto something. I think that helps me with my sort of resilience muscle building as well in life, and just always try to have that glass half full spirit where possible. I'm not talking about some kind of toxic positivity here. I get days where I'm overwhelmed, or days where I'm fed up, or days where it all feels too much. And sometimes it's difficult to see the brighter side when we're being hit with difficult circumstances in life, or physical or mental ailments, or different kinds of challenges, bereavements, loved ones going through difficult things, stressful circumstances, external influences that can feel out of our control, that feel as if they're robbing us of our peace and our joy and our contentment. And I'm under no illusions that life can have many challenges, and I hope, if you're going through any challenges in your life, I hope that they'll be resolved, and I wish you well. May you be happy. May you have many blessings in your life. And I know that it can be a rocky road sometimes for us in life, but I still feel that, and it's not to negate or not to diminish the magnitude of what people can be going through. I think holding space for ourselves and others and honouring our feelings and not pushing them away is important. But even within all of that, if there can be things to try and just help us anchor some sense of gratitude, it can help us feel more in control in times when it might not feel like there's much control over anything, and to try and feel grounded. It can be a great grounding technique, for example, to just take a minute, take some time out and tune into our senses. Right, what can I see in front of me? What can I hear? What can I feel? You know, I can feel that sensation of touch, scent, taste, whatever it is. If you use certain senses to help you tune in, and then within those senses, there may be something where you can help yourself build that kind of muscle of, oh, it's amazing that the body has all these nerve endings that we can actually feel that. Like, I can do the lightest tap and I can feel that. How amazing is that? Or, you know, like our eyes are a miracle. Our eyes are such complex things, and what they do is amazing. And the level of information and detail that they can see, you know, like, just, it's a good way of practicing trying to see something within whatever's going on. And that can be worth so much, because like I say, even in times where we feel far from abundant, it can help us start to develop that sense that we are, like, even just being alive. Because I know Mel Robbins and other people too, but I can't think who off the top of my head, but I've heard of people talking about this where it's like, and I don't remember what the statistics are, but we're talking at least many, many millions of the kind of like the chances of everything coinciding in this way that we exist on a living planet, that, you know, the way everything's come together for you to be alive in this moment right now, how much of a miracle that is. It's probability, yeah. It's the probability of that having happened. It's just, it's actually such a miracle. For all these different things to have come together in that particular way, to allow that to have happened. So I find that can help, but I also know that we still can have our days where things just don't feel great, and that no amount of that could feel like enough to and then on those days, I hope that we can be comforted and find ways to get through that and feel brighter. So these two things, as I say, can feel so valuable. Finding a way to have a mindset that we can anchor into some sense of gratitude and abundance, help build our resilience, and help us believe in ourselves as well in that mindset, because that's worth so much. When we tune into the little miracles happening around us all the time, and we can have a mindset that's more mindful, where we're able to give ourselves some permission and some breathing space to slow down and notice amazing things in the everyday, because the everyday is, you know, there's extraordinary in the ordinary of the everyday. And the more we're able to tune into that, I personally feel that that's very empowering and a gift that we can give ourselves that's worth a lot, to help us feel strong, help us feel capable, help us feel empowered and resilient. And that's definitely worth a lot. And that, coupled with knowing our whys, is definitely a very, very rich combination. Even in a life where monetarily it may seem money poor, it's an internal richness that can lead to great things in life. So this is something that is part of my frugal goals. It's not just about sort of trying to aim towards different financial goals and savings, emergency funds, or whatever that may be, but it's about what's going on internally as well, because having those things in place is absolutely invaluable for what we're aiming for on the outside in our lives too. As within, so without, as they say. Did they say? Yeah. So, I don't know, is there some proverb like that? Please let us know in the comments. And I have been rambling for long enough. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. And thank you so much for listening. Sometimes I love to just be able to just have a chat about these things and see if it resonates, and if that's something that can be useful for anyone else, fantastic. So great to see you. Have a lovely weekend and see you again soon on the channel. I'll be back on Tuesday. Bye for now.